Hey everybody, Kevin Anthony here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 4 things to do after you have been cheated on. Okay, before I do that, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Doing so greatly helps the channel. I have noticed that a lot of the people that watch my videos are not actually subscribed to the channel. It's free, it's easy, just click the subscribe button. Not only will you get notified when new videos come out, but it really helps my channel. It helps YouTube know that people are interested in this content and they'll show it to more people. So that really helps me get these educational videos out. Okay, so this is a subject that has really been coming up a lot lately. I'm not sure why. Sometimes these things just come in cycles, but I've been hearing it more and more from listeners and clients. And I'm going to be doing a longer podcast episode on this. In fact, I've already released a podcast episode on why people cheat and how to stop it. But very specifically, I was asked by a listener what to do after you have been cheated on. And that's really what this video is about. So, number 1, calm down. Take some deep breaths if you have to. But flying off the handle and emotionally overreacting is not going to help the situation at all. And unfortunately, that is the reaction that most people have when they find out that they have been cheated on. So I really strongly encourage you, don't overreact. If you need to remove yourself from that person or from that situation until you can calm down and come back showing up as a mature adult, then do that. Take whatever time you need, do whatever you need to do. You need to come back to this situation with a clear head and a calm disposition so that you can do number 2, which is have an emotionally mature conversation. This is really, really important. If you go back and you listen to my podcast episode on why people cheat and how you can stop it, there are some really main reasons that lead people to cheating. And those reasons, I'm not going to justify that cheating is ever the right thing to do. But sometimes there are some pretty strong reasons why somebody is led to do that. It's really important that you understand what the reasoning was. And I would say that, unless somebody just has a history of compulsive cheating, in most cases, there's some underlying reason in the relationship. Their needs weren't getting met. They weren't getting the love. They weren't getting the amount of sex. Whatever it is, there's probably a real reason there that led them to do this. And you need to understand that reason. It's really important that you understand what the underlying reason is. Now, for many people, cheating is a line that once crossed, there's no going back. Okay, if that's how you feel, that's fine. But if you've been in a long-term relationship and you do still care and love this person, you may want to see if you can recover from this. Recovering from this requires that you understand what the underlying reason for the cheating was. This has happened to me once. I was in a long-term relationship where the person did cheat on me. And when we really sat down and discussed it, I realized what led her to cheat was the fact that I was not available. I was working too much. I was training for downhill mountain biking with a team, and I was gone every weekend. And I realized that I just simply wasn't there for her enough. I wasn't giving her enough time, energy, love, sex, all of that stuff. And she was bored and unfulfilled. So I realized that, I was not nurturing this relationship the way I should have been. So it's really important to understand what those underlying reasons are. Okay, number 3, you want to get the person who cheated to agree to stop whoever they're seeing or whatever they're doing until you can figure out how you're going to solve this situation. So you need to stop whatever's happening so that you can figure out what you're going to do. Now, that might mean, okay, until we have, talked about this and decided we're going our separate ways. It might be until we figure out, what the underlying cause was and what are we going to do about potentially addressing it. But if the person continues to cheat, they continue to make the situation worse and even harder to recover from. So you need to get them to agree, like, okay, you have cheated. You've been with this other person. I need you to tell me, 100% guarantee me that you're not going to do that again. Like, you're going to tell that person, this is not going to happen again until I figure out what's happening in my relationship, because you're never really going to be able to solve it if that is still continuing on the outside. And number 4, you need to form a plan. And that plan needs to be, okay, we're going to sit down and figure this out and figure out how to patch this relationship, how to fix it, how to reestablish the trust, or we're going to determine that we no longer want to stay together, and we're going to form a plan on how we can gradually de-escalate and uncouple, or break up as people call it. I don't like to use that term. I prefer that people do what we call consciously uncoupling, which is acting like 2 mature adults and forming a plan to mutually separate in a way that is least harmful to both parties. So you really have to form a plan. You really have to figure it out. Now, sometimes that's a really hard thing to do on your own, in which case a sort of bonus 5th one, which is really the same as number 4, it's get help. Get help. You don't have to navigate this situation on your own. If this has never happened to you before, if you've never been through it, you might not know what to do. So by all means, get help. Seek therapy, seek marriage counseling, find a relationship coach, whoever it is. Find somebody that you resonate with that can help you through this process. You do have a bit of a road ahead of you regardless. If you decide you want to stay together, there's going to be some work that needs to be done. One, you're going to have to figure out why they cheated, and you might find that some of the responsibility falls on your shoulders. And then there's broken trust. And broken trust, although difficult to recover from, can be recovered from, but it's going to take time. So formulate a plan, get help with that plan if you need it. Those are my quick tips on what you can do after you have been cheated on. Like I said, I will be doing a longer podcast episode going into a lot more depth about how you can do those things in a way that I think will make it a lot easier and take some of the guesswork out of it. But for now, that is my recommendation. So if you have recently found out that you have been cheated on and you have found this video, please take my advice and let me know in the comments below how it worked out for you, or whether or not you might need some help.